know, and I'm up for the challenge, definitely. So.
You had a list. I don't know if you actually wrote it down or if it was just a mental list of the women that you wanted to fight. And what would you say to if there are women in the world who Natalie Fuz is on their list of women they wanted to fight, and now that you're retired, the kind of disappointment they might have, or this, like, oh man, I missed it, or anything like that?
It wasn't meant to be, you know. I mean, I would be totally honored if I was on anybody's list. And I knew I was on Ellen's list, and that's also why it was very special. But, you know, I would be like, it's okay, you know, you had 10 years, it didn't happen, you know. And I would also say, like, this is why it's so important that you make things happen for yourself. And that, or that you have the right people that are going to make things happen for you, that take you that seriously, that they're going to do everything in their power to make it happen, whatever that is. They're going to listen to you, they're going to make it happen. Or you're going to make it happen yourselves, because I tell you, in my 10 years career, half of it, I made it happen. If I had just sat there and waited for that phone call, you know, I wouldn't have probably half of the fight I've had, you know. I travel the world, I pay for myself, I mean, as an amateur, you know. It's like people have to understand that, and women have to understand that. We have kind of like that tendency of waiting for, you know, men to make it happen. And it's like, you know what? No. I've had this conversation with so many fighters that I've seen potential in them, and they're always like, well, I can't find fights, and I'm like, you have to make it happen for yourself.
Yeah.
If you wait for somebody to make it happen, it will probably never happen. And all you will have is regret. And it's like, you're young, go for it, you know. Priorities, you know, just save money, go to time, you know, whatever. I did whatever I could. I really did. And it was a choice. Everything comes down to a choice, you know. And that's what I would say to this woman. It's like, if it didn't happen, it's not, you know, because I didn't want to, you know, it's like nobody approached me about it.
Yeah.
And we, you know, we couldn't make it work. So, you know, whatever, it's like, people are like, oh, is it like a real retirement, or are you going to come back? And I'm like, no, it is a real retirement, you know. My work as a fighter is really done, you know. And no, I didn't have my complete wish list. But at some point, you're going to look at it and say, you know, this person, I've tried 3 times, it never happened. I don't think it's meant to happen. This person, same thing. Well, you know what? I can live without it. That's the point. And, you know, you got to call it quits when it feels good to you.
Which is that I'm semi-obsessed with Muhammad Ali, in that depending on what generation, social class, race you're talking about, generally the way he's remembered is as an incredible, semi-undefeatable boxer. But he was also an incredible political activist, and really just an amazing, shockingly articulate man. And he was giving some kind of speech at Harvard, and someone in the audience stood up and asked him to give an impromptu poem, to write something for them. And Muhammad Ali was actually dyslexic. He's not like a super wordy man. And on the spot, he came up with "Me, We," which currently stands as the shortest poem in the English language. And I feel that it completely represents this transition that you're making right now.
Yes.
How do you feel?
It is. Totally. It's about we. Honestly, it's never been about me. I was told by my astrologist, actually I have a great astrologer, and years ago she said, you know, you have such a great chart and you're going to do such great things because you don't have an ego. I was like, is that a good thing? I wasn't sure. I was like, okay. Because she has kind of a wry sense of humor. So I was like, are you dissing me, or is it actually a good thing? And she's like, no, seriously. And it's a good thing. In your case, it's a really good thing. Because you have an incredible self-esteem, but you don't have an ego. And confidence, but you don't have an ego.
Let's check this out.
And,
sorry.
Okay. And basically, yeah, so it was never ever about me. I never believed in that. And it's all about the we, and it's always been about the we, even as a fighter, and it's gonna be even more so now that, you know, I'm gonna open my own gym, I'm gonna train my own fighters, men and women, and work with the entire global Muay Thai community, which I'm very connected to. And, you know, that's how you advance things, you know. You cannot advance that much if you're just all about yourself. Basically, if you're all by yourself, you retire and then you disappear and you don't do anything else. And that's not me. I'm just starting. So.